Hello, everyone. This is Alien Reddit Stories, where I read alien stories off of Reddit. My friend Johnny Blix, fellow YouTuber, insisted that I make an intro. So here it goes. Wee woo woo, hee hee woo. Alien Reddit Stories. Story number 1. Might have arrived too late, but I've seen the same UFO on 2 separate occasions. Just for context, I live a little south of Fort Campbell in Tennessee. It's really common to see the helicopters and C-130s and such flying around. Anyway, the first time I was driving back from dropping the guy I carpooled with off down the little rural road he lived on, and as I drove past this field, I saw off to my right about 5 miles a pair of helicopters following a C-130 doing a refueling exercise. Something to the left caught my eye, and I looked over to see this perfectly smooth teardrop-shaped thing floating in the sky. I could tell how far it was, but what I could guess was a few miles, and it was about twice the altitude of the helicopters. And was just sitting there. It was metallic, like nickel or something. Not chromed, but had a flat tip to the teardrop, shaped like one of those little keychain tag things. I stopped in awe, trying to figure out what it was, then it just ceased to exist. It didn't zoom away or fade away or anything. It's like my brain couldn't process how fast it disappeared and it wasn't there anymore. I figured it was an optical illusion or something and went on with my day. Well, a couple of months later, I was driving through the exact same area and saw the same damn thing. Whatever it was, floated in a slightly different area, probably within a few miles of the original. This time I was sure it was something and grabbed my phone, but as I unlocked it and pressed the camera, it disappeared again. I don't know if it was an optical illusion or not, but I saw something and it was the exact same thing both times. Story number 2. Let's just start off by saying that seeing an unfamiliar and unidentifiable craft is not evidence of aliens, and I don't have any need to know that they are out there. I'll be far more excited and interested if scientists have developed these technologies through human ingenuity and without any intervention from advanced civilizations outside our planet. My story below. In the Soviet Union, somewhere in between Ukraine or Russia, I was a kid at the time while traveling by train between 2 cities aged between 6 and 7. I was playing in the car hall with another boy. We were looking out the window and we saw lights in the distance that, unlike city lights, change colors to strange colors like blue, which are quite distant from the yellow lights of houses and such. I should also note that the air smelled like burning isht. I won't say that word. Not sure if it's relevant. Just something I remember. Maybe just something in the area we were going through. Probably nothing to do with the observation we made, other than explaining lights as gas-related, burning blue being a common color of burning gas. It doesn't explain the color, green though, but well, not really the best part of the event anyway. The lights began to get closer until we could clearly make out a craft that was traveling above the train, so it was moving in 2 directions at the same time, toward the train car side and in same direction as train. It was about 15 to 20 feet, 5 to 10 meters away from the train car window where we were hanging out at that point. I ran screaming to come look in Russian to my family that were in one of the cabins in the car directly in front of the window. I was looking out, in fact, but they also refused, which was really strange. I have to try to ask my grandmother why she didn't get up to look out the window. Yet she never gives a response that really explains her reactions. I've given up. I can remember the craft exactly. It was like a stereotypical flying saucer, except it had a box-like shape sticking out on the other side. Side could be front or back. Now, no way to tell, and I can't remember where it was relative to the directions it was moving. There are many explanations for that, what I saw, though, like an experimental craft, maybe? TLDR. When I was a kid, 6 or 7, I saw a flying saucer-like craft that had a box sticking out the side. This happened while I was traveling in a train between some 2 cities, just one of the many cool memories from my childhood. Story number 3. I have a few stories. Back in October 2006, I was with my brother driving to Target to return his jacket my mom bought that was a tad too small. It was like at 7:45 p.m. I think. It was dark, obviously. I was staring out the window looking at the stars and I see one light and one probably a good 10 miles behind it, if not more. For a while I thought maybe they were planes. Okay, whatever. But then the first one just started to gather speed and zoomed out of sight, perfectly horizontal. The second stayed about the same slower speed for 10 or 20 seconds and did the same thing, except I could see how fast it was going. It was incredible. I mean, it was going faster than any human-made craft known, and all perfectly horizontal as well. The second was recent. Like last summer, I was in the backyard to check out the drip lines in the greenhouse with my mom as she was bugging me about checking them. I was walking over and just looked up for some reason, and I saw this cigar-shaped object, shiny and reflective. I could have sworn to have been less than a mile above, just there. I was looking upwards and kind of walking, and my mom said to me, "Well, what are you looking at?" I looked back down so I wouldn't smash into a flower bed and looked right up. Nothing. There was nothing there. There wasn't a glimpse of anything there like that anywhere in the sky, and the sky was cloudless at the moment. When talking about this to a friend of mine, she told me this story about her grandfather and grandmother. I believe it was back in the 80s, it was back in Mexico during the 60s. I want to say around night. Apparently her grandparents were working in the field one night, and they saw this craft with really bright lights kind of hover over their field. They completely blew it off and said effing Russians, because they legitimately thought it was a Soviet craft. But the thing is, apparently in Mexico, especially the south, these things are seemingly normal and viewable events. There are UFOs like that as well, and other weird, crazy-ish, like described beings as witches. I thoroughly believe there's other intelligent life out there in the universe for sure. Some intend us harm, some don't. Some are disappointed that we do harm against each other. I don't know why an alien species would be so interested in us, other than pure curiosity that we as humans have towards aliens. All I wonder is why they don't make themselves known in a way we can understand. Effing aliens just want to have sex with us, with them. Is that so hard? Okay, that really took a weird turn. Anyway, that would be the finale of the stories there. It was weird, but I don't know why would you mention that at the last end of the story. Bonkers. Okay, regarding the second story and the cylindrical-shaped aircraft, UFO with the box on the side. I don't know. That sounds like a Zeppelin. It really does. The box on the side, Zeppelin. You guys remember Zeppelins, right? The shape, they're like a tube. They have a box on them, or even like a helium balloon or something. I don't know. The kid was pretty young. So, yeah. As far as the Russian angle, I like that. I like the Ukraine. I like Russia. Very big open fields. A lot of forest. The taiga out there. The taiga is where a lot of phenomena is happening. I'm sure that there's all kinds of phenomena out there. The people out there, they probably see some wild stuff. All right. And, I don't know. I don't have really any guess as to what that kid saw. As for this guy here, what his mom was on this last guy's story, it was actually a pretty good story. It was, it's, what the hell, effing Russians, right? Our Russians are invading our airspace, but is it though Russians? Is it? It's not Russians, okay, come on now, the Soviet threat is not there anymore, boys. We're not in 48 or something, all right? It's over, all right? Lay off the commies. But what I will say is this, all right? I haven't been putting out videos lately because I've been working a lot. A lot of work. And my software is having some issues. The software I was using it's kind of pay to use. So I had to be honest, I didn't pay it, and I didn't realize it until I couldn't use it. So now I gotta rebundle it. So if I sound off at all, it's because I'm missing some je ne sais quoi alien Reddit story type of editing. So this is more of my natural voice without any sort of flair or sort of cleanup. So make it of what you will. All right. Some people say that it's rather endearing. Other people say it's rather obnoxious. I don't know where you lie on that spectrum. Well, I need to lie down, and so that's where I'm going to be lying in a moment. And you know what? If I won't lie to you guys. Just if I said I'm not disappointed that if you don't go ahead and hit that subscribe button, do it. You made it this far. It costs nothing. Do it. Do it. It will liberate you. And I'll see you next time on Alien Reddit Stories. Love ya.